Good evening. It's Thursday, September 18th, 2025 at 6 p.m. This is the City of Franklin Plan Commission meeting. Mr. Martinez, would you please take the roll?
Mayor Nelson.
Here.
Commissioner Specht is excused. Commissioner Shogo.
Here.
Commissioner Haley is excused. Alderman Salus.
Here.
Alderwoman Day.
Here.
Commissioner Leon is excused.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just for the record, I, the mayor, will be voting tonight because of the lack of attendees to the meeting. Number one, B as in boy, approval of the minutes. Approval of the regular meeting minutes of September 4th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
First and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. C as in Charles, going into a public hearing. I'll read this in its entirety first, and then Regulo, you can take over. Department of City Development, UDO text amendment, an ordinance to amend the Unified Development Ordinance, UDO text at Article 2, established of districts, Article 3, district-specific standards, Article 4, use-specific standards, Article 5, general development standards, Article 6, sign standards, Article 7, natural resource protection standards, Article 8, subdivision standards, and Article 9, administrative standards and procedures, to correct typos and omissions, as well as to address questions raised during the first months of implementation of this new UDO, including but not limited to set maximum dwelling units for mixed-use developments, setback exemptions for decks, exceptions from sign permit requirements, add surface water setback, timeline for submitting temporary use permit applications, permitting process for home-based businesses, slab requirements for accessory structures, update to table of permitted uses, parking ratio for healthcare facilities, and standards for accessory structures over 1,200 square feet. Mr. Martinez.
Thank you. Good evening. First, I would like to introduce our new planner.
I'm Rose.
Rose.
Hello, Rose.
Rose, why don't you pull the microphone a little bit closer to you? So Rose, good evening and welcome.
Thank you.
We are very, very happy that you have joined our city. Welcome. We've got a lot going on, and we're welcome to the party because it's never going to be boring.
Thank you.
Okay, on this item, the UDO, the new UDO that was approved in May, we are kind of happy with the new process with the new UDO, but during the first month of implementation, we found some kind of reference that has some errors and typos. So we kind of these updates to address these issues that we have found with the new code. So the report has the whole list of changes, and I will in the presentation address kind of the highlights. And after the presentation, we can go to any specific if you have questions. Okay, so the articles from 2 through 9 that are subject of this amendment, as stated in the agenda and the public hearing notice. One major revision is the setbacks for decks and patios. So in the former ordinance, decks has a minimum setback of 10 feet from the rear and side lot line. With the new UDO, we added a provision that says that decks may project 10 feet into the setbacks, but that actually may not conforming many of the decks that were 10 feet from the lot line, because in some cases the building setback is 30 feet. So we are revising that exception to allow for setbacks to be 10 feet from the lot line, just as the former UDO, and that will avoid making all decks that actually receive permit to make them non-conforming.
Okay.
So we updated the table for temporary uses. Main changes are for any construction activities. Just to clarify that if the owner obtain a permit, that it's allowed without obtaining a separate temporary use permit for construction activities. That was kind of an error in the table. It should be permitted without a permit, without a temporary use permit. For food trucks, we're adding in limited industrial and institutional use that may be approved by staff. So that will avoid like the two following items. There are food trucks in institutional district. If this is approved, that may be approved by staff without going to Plan Commission. And also clarifying, adding the seasonal sales that was in the text, ordinance text was not in the table, so we're adding that to make the text consistent with the table. One natural resource that was missed during the adoption of the new UDO was the 75-foot setback from any ordinary high water mark line, like a lake or a river. And that we're doing this revision to kind of to keep that setback, because that's actually in the state statute that we need to have that 75-foot setback from any lakes or rivers or ponds. That's kind of basically the major changes. Just let me see if I'm missing anything. We're adding a subsection that specifically says to allow signs without a permit, certain signs like a signs painted on glass, traffic control, and signs to demarcate natural resources. And also setting the expiration time for variances. 2 years is the same expiration time that we have in the code for site plans and conditional uses. Yeah, and all the changes are listed in the staff report, and happy to answer any questions.
So to the best of your knowledge, all these changes
Alderman
makes
Salus, you got the
things-
floor.
make things easier.
Yes, that's the goal, and also to set process, because there are some part that, for example, for a home-based business, the process is not clear. So with adding a subsection that kind of specify what is the process to submit by staff, the application, because that was not in the former UDO, and was not in the revised new UDO. So we're adding that to have the process clear.
So if someone have a home-based business, have to somehow, how is that related to the city operation?
They need to apply for a home-based business permit. And we're adding that subsection that clarify that the home-based business should go to staff for approval. But that's not currently in the ordinance, so it's not clear, the process. That's where we were writing this.
But once the applicant apply, is he going to get occupancy certificate for his business? Like, you know, when you operate a business, you get occupancy certificate, and that's a commercial setting type of a thing. But when someone doing business like home-based, so what is the?
Yeah, it requires the home-based business permit that go to staff approval. But the ordinance, the occupancy permit is separate. It's a separate permit.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we can always come back, because I'd like if you could please just read the notice for the public hearing.
Notice of public hearing, City of Franklin Plan Commission, meeting on Thursday, September 18, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the Common Council Chambers at Franklin City Hall, 9229 West Loomis Road, Franklin, Wisconsin. Department of City Development is the applicant. It applies to citywide. Proposal is an ordinance to amend the Unified Development Ordinance, UDO text, at Article 2, Establishment of Districts, Article 3, District Specific Standards, Article 4, Use Specific Standards, Article 5, General Development Standards, 6, Sign Standards, 7, Natural Resource Protection Standards, 8, Subdivision Standards, and 9, Administrative Standards and Procedures. To correct typos and omissions, as well as to address questions raised during the first month of implementation of this new UDO, including but not limited to set maximum dwelling units for mixed-use development, setback exceptions for decks, exception from sign permit requirements, surface water setback, timeline for submitted temporary use permit applications, permitting process for home-based business, slab requirements for accessory structures, update table of permitted uses, parking ratio for healthcare facilities, and standards for accessory structures over 1,200 square feet. This public hearing is being held pursuant to the requirements of Wisconsin statutes 622372 and section 15910 text amendments of the UDO. All application materials and the proposed ordinance are available at the Department of City Development at Franklin City Hall. The public is invited to attend the public hearing to provide input. The proposed ordinance is subject to revisions following public hearing and therefore the consideration by the Plan Commission and the Common Council.
Thank you. At this time, anybody wishing to speak on this matter and this matter alone? It is now 6:10 PM. I will open up the public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak on item C as in Charles number 1, please approach the podium, state your name and address for the record, and try to keep your comments at 3 minutes or less. Going once, going twice. Also close it at the same time, 6:10 PM. Moving to other further questions from members of the Planning Commission.
I just have one.
Okay, Alderwoman Day.
Just one question. For the home-based business permit, this is completely new, correct? We didn't have it before, or was it just omitted from the like it just didn't transfer over from the old UDO?
The standards are not new, are from the former UDO. Kind of like it cannot be in a accessory structure. It can occupy more than certain square footage of the house.
So essentially, we just didn't carry it over to this one.
Right. What is new is the process. But we're just writing a section for the process that we are currently doing in practice, but it's not in the ordinance.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense?
Yes.
Because we currently ask for the permit,
Okay.
but the ordinance doesn't say that the permit is needed.
Right. So where I'm going with this is if you already have a home-based business and it was not required technically before to get one, could those businesses now get in trouble for not having one if they didn't know that it was technically required?
Well,
I just don't want someone. I
uh,
just don't want someone to be like, aha! I don't like my neighbor down the road, and I know that he runs
No,
He's an
I mean-
attorney.
a pottery business out of his home. So
So,
you know,
well,
I don't want people
No,
to
no,
get
yeah.
in trouble for not having one if they didn't know
Right.
they needed one.
no, I mean, the permit requirement is from the former code. But what the former code and this code was not clear in is in the process.
Okay.
So we're setting the process here in the code. And it's basically what we're doing in practice, but just writing that in the code.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Any further comments, questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
A motion to recommend approval of an ordinance to amend the Unified Development Ordinance text at Article 2, Establishment of District, Article 3, District-Specific Standards, Article 4, Use-Specific Standards, 5, General Development Standards, 6, Sign Standards, 7, Natural Resource Protection Standards, 8, Subdivision Standards, and 9, Administrative Standards and Procedures.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I second.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Item D is in David, citizen comment period. Citizens may comment on the next two items and those two items alone. Please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, close citizen comment. E is in Edward number 1, Franklin Youth Football Food Truck Events, temporary use request for approval of a temporary use permit for a food truck operation on multiple dates upon property located at 8222 South 51st Street, AKA Franklin High School.
Thank you. This is a temporary use for a food truck to be located in the Franklin High School. This is the location. This event is for multiple dates. Some of the dates has already occurred early September. So when this application was submitted, was kind of didn't allow to present it to the Plan Commission. So staff issue a conditional approval, so to allow for the first dates, and then this Plan Commission approval is to allow for the rest of the events next month, and one by September 27th.
Okay, being an alumni of the Franklin Youth Football Program, proud alumni, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I fully support this, and we'll turn over to fellow Plan Commission members for comment. Mr. Shago?
Do the parents still run the concession stand as a fundraiser? Is that going to impact them?
Who is the permit requester on this, sir?
Franklin Youth Football.
So if Franklin Youth Football is looking to ask for this, I'm sure they've thought
Okay.
that through.
I spent many a cold night in that concession stand, so I didn't know if they still did that or not. So, okay, that's my,
Good question. But if Franklin Youth Football is the requester, I'm can only assume that that's,
the coordinator with.
they're doing something. Maybe they're getting a percentage.
Yeah, just that Andy Cromie, Franklin Youth. Yeah.
Okay. Could you please read the motion?
A motion to approve a resolution imposing conditions and restriction for the approval of a temporary use for multiple food truck events in the parking lot of Franklin High School located at 8222 South 51st Street.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
We have a first and a second by Mr. Shago. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have, a motion carries. E is the word number 2, Ben Franklin Elementary Food Truck Event, temporary use request for retroactive approval of a temporary use permit for a food truck operation on August 27th. Thank goodness that's gone, upon property located at 7620 South 83rd Street. Mr. Martinez.
Thank you. Yeah, this event already occurred on August 27. So staff approved conditionally, so they can have the event and then allow the staff to prepare for the plan commission meeting. So that's why it's being presented tonight, but the event has already happened. And this is the location of the food trucks.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Any further discussion or comment from members of the commission? Seeing none, is there a motion, sir?
A motion to approve a resolution imposing conditions and restrictions for the approval of a temporary use for a food truck event in the parking lot of Ben Franklin Elementary School located at 7620 South 83rd Street.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have, a motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it at 6:18 PM. We are adjourned. Please take us offline.
Nice.
Gonna make